All right, sit down, lie down, squat down. But I'm back, Belle, Tellz. And as you can see, yet again,
What's good? It's your boy.
there you go. I was waiting for that one.
It always comes.
So kind of just this whole new thing we're doing of just kind of, what is it you use? Chopping it up. Is that the term?
Well, everybody used sit down after I used it, so I tried something new.
Chopping it up, whatever, however you want me to say it.
We're chopping it up.
Chopping it up. So we were actually set to record last week, but things kind of got changed. A few weeks back. Well, no, it's been a couple months now, right? What are you looking for?
Nothing.
Okay.
Well, you gonna help me find it?
I don't know what you're looking for.
Chapstick.
I'm
listening.
Well, I'll wait for you to get back.
A couple months ago? I'm here.
Right.
Say
So
what you have to say.
All right. So a couple months ago, as you know, my son moved. And he was, he's of age, going to be 21, yada, yada.
I know. The people at home don't know.
Right.
So now they know.
Right. Now they know. So it was, the way he left, I had problems with.
Yeah, because you're a control freak and you couldn't control the situation.
Well, thank you very much for pointing that out. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you.
You wanted him to move out on your terms when you were ready.
Right.
How you wanted it done.
Right.
Where you wanted it done.
Right.
And he upped and moved and
said no. Yeah. Said, no, that's not what I want. So I remember being extremely upset because it wasn't part of the plan.
No, you?
So it wasn't the plan. It was not the track we had discussed. It wasn't what we were supposed to do. And he was like, well, I don't.
Make sure you specify it wasn't the track that you laid down for him to go down.
Right. I mean, he was supposed to go to med school. And he decided this is not for me. And I said, no, this is not the plan. And so he moved out. So I remember you telling me, just stop, lay low. He's grown. This is, you got to stop.
Well, tell the whole story if you want to tell it. I didn't know this was, because as everybody knows, I don't do anything scripted if they do watch me. So this show as well is not scripted. It's what we just talk about, everyday stuff, ripping culture. But I didn't know you were going to talk about the situation with your son. So get to the part why you moved out and then what I said would happen. Because that's where the conversation was that we had.
Well, I don't want to say what he said, but he spoke to me very disrespectfully.
No. But the whole situation with the girl, not that whole part.
Okay. So I came home.
Wow. That's the whole story. And you skipped over right to the disrespect. We don't even have to talk about that part. That's not the meat and potatoes.
So I came home. I'm very meticulous about how I keep my home. It is very clean. Everything is in its spot. And I remember.
Control freak. If she's not controlling the situation, and the situation was, nobody could touch my toys without my permission.
Well, you're not allowed to have anybody in my home without me here. That's one of my rules. Okay. So anyways, so I noticed that my shades would be moved, just like a pair would be just slightly moved. And then I noticed I have all my lipsticks turned a certain way. Well, a couple of them had been moved. And I was like, I don't remember leaving them like that. Didn't even click. So came home and I looked at my hot tub and I'm like,
there you go. Get to that part.
I'm like,
none of the other stuff mattered.
I'm like, what the heck was this kid washing in my hot tub? So I texted him. I'm like, yo, dude.
Washing a grown-ass woman.
Stop. You just totally just just ruined the punchline.
Because it's like getting root canal pulling this out of you.
Well, because I don't want to think.
What was he washing? A grown ass woman was scrubbing his back in
Well,
your bathtub.
I stop. So anyways, then as I was cleaning the tub out, I saw 3 long blonde hairs. I was like, okay, my hair's not that long. So that's when I texted him and I was like, let me ask you a different question. Who were you washing in my tub? No, nobody. Well, that started the kind of the tension, and he moved out last Sunday. He'd come home. And I remember telling him, I said, listen, I'll always be mommy. I will always see you as my little boy. I don't care how grown you are. I don't care.
I don't care about the girl you were calling mommy in the bathtub.
You stop! Oh, stop doing that. So I said, listen, I get it. You got to grow up. You got to find your own way. You got to do your thing. I totally understand all this. But in my home, there will always be rules that will apply that you have to abide by, whether you agree or disagree. This is still my home. He was like, I got it. He's going to stay in the state he's in. But he's now going to enroll in that college there, which I was extremely happy he's going back to school. But he said, but Mom, I got to tell you, I need you to understand, I'm not going to go be a doctor. I'm not doing that. I've decided to go be a computer science or whatever, which is fine. Whatever. It's your journey. It's your life. So that threw me off last Sunday. And it was also a bittersweet week for me. That was the week of one of the kids' birthdays.
Let's now get back to why you were saying this from the beginning. Our conversation was, you thought that you were going to be a grandmother.
Oh God,
I said,
oh no!
I said what? I said by the spring, they won't even.
You said
be
by
together.
March. No, you said by March he'll be home if you leave him alone.
March is the spring. March is the spring.
Okay,
First day of spring is the 21st.
I forgot.
So
yeah,
that's our conversation months ago.
Right. I left him alone. And yeah, he did. Yeah, and he told me. Crazy, you should say that too. Because he said, had you continued to pepper my phone with text messages and bother me, I would have, he said, no, I wouldn't have come back. It'd been long. I mean, he would have, but it'd been a lot longer. So it's just hard. It's hard having to let go.
Is it hard, the children part, or is it hard of letting go of a situation you can't control? I don't think you really know.
I think both.
You want to talk and say it's the child path,
which that is part of it.
Wait a minute,
that is part of it. Because when you've been raising
issues.
babies for 21 years, like I have, you do feel a little bit like a fish out of water.
But you stop raising babies when they become teenagers.
No, you never stop raising kids.
You have a gap. You did. That's why he was raising himself, and you had no idea that he had a woman in your house. He was raising himself.
I really
See, you can't control. That is you not being able to control. Just like your youngest, you're starting to think about now you're going to be an empty nest soon. Like you're already thinking about 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Which is your controlling issues.
It's also sad. It saddens me.
So there's a big thing, and I say it a lot on my show with people that come from a life that I used to be involved in, and why we don't fit into, why we separate ourselves and call everybody else civilians and don't consider ourselves civilian. Well, we don't speak about ourselves in a third party, is because we live life on our terms. And that's why we get in trouble. You have to live life on life's terms. Now, this also, so many things plays out in the civilian world, just like our world, and we can use it. The problem is even though you're a legitimate person, works for a law office, that gets up every day, pays her taxes, lives, a law, not doesn't live a lawless life, you still try to live life on Belle's terms. You can't. In every situation, you have to learn to live life on life's terms, no matter what it is, from organized crime to being a paralegal. So I think once you start coping with the fact that no situation is controllable by one person, the forces of nature, just the way life goes as we evolve as people, and what we've seen through the years with technology, you gotta let go. Listen, there's nobody that tries to control the situation more than I do. It just,
It's true.
It doesn't work. And then I gotta pinch myself or stab myself, one or the other, to remind myself, you're starting to try to live life on your terms, even as, Joe Civilian. And I pull myself back and say, let's see where life takes me.
I mean,
and you haven't crossed that bridge yet, since I know.
No, listen, I have crossed that bridge in certain situations. It's true.
You want to tell yourself you did.
I have.
When somebody says in certain situations, that means in 80% of their life, they're not doing that.
It's hard letting go with the kids.
But you're not letting go. You're letting them live their lives. Just as now you left him alone and he came back. He's glad he did, because he was led in the wrong direction by somebody else thinking you were going to be mad at him. Asked to come over for the holidays. This is not letting them go, but them living their own lives and still including you in it.
I know. It's just hard.
He's of legal age. He can vote. He can drink. And you still want to control his major. He wants to become what he wants to become.
I know. But as a mom, I feel like I know what's best. And it's hard.
But you're also a sister. You're also a daughter. You're also a granddaughter. You listen. The weather changes. You cry. If they don't notice about you by now on your channel, then they ain't been watching you.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. And every mom understands this. It is. I see certain things that I'm like, I don't want you to make my mistakes. But
how does somebody learn?
You got to get out and figure it out on your own. That's how you learn.
And part of that process is failing. The only thing that works with that is having a support system behind you. If you're doing the right thing and failing, that support system should do whatever it can to help you. And that's what you're there for. As a mom, now you're a support system.
I know.
As long as he continues to do the right thing, who cares if he's going to school to learn how to become a McDonald's employee? As long as he's doing something productive and on the right track.
I know. It's hard.
Yeah, but you have to hear it out loud. Because you'll say no till you're blue in the face, hang up the phone, and still become Belle the control freak.
A little bit. Maybe.
Then you had another birthday on positive notes.
Yeah.
You turned into a negative as usual.
Did not. No.
But Miss, I'm at the cup. I'm looking at the cup half full.
I'm
such a positive person, and it's such a bad week. I had a birthday. That's a blessing.
No.
Every birthday.
No, that
you
was
see of a loved one.
It was a good week.
On this earth.
I didn't say it was bad. I said it was.
You said it was a tough. You said it was a tough week.
There was a tough part of the week. Yes, there was.
You try to twist and turn everything.
No, I don't. So, yes. So, we had, at the beginning of the week, we celebrated a birthday. And then towards the end of the week, I want to say it was halfway through the week, something like that, was the 2-year mark of Grandma passing, which I had not been to her gravesite in a while, because It's in your face. It's not, it's there. It's right in front of you. And so, yeah, I got emotional when I went out there. It was hard. But, it's just part of, it's like we've discussed, death is just so final. There's no going back. There's no
discussion. I'm the one that keeps putting it in your face.
I know.
And you know what the problem is? Being a control freak, it's tough to understand and live with at the same time as something being final. It's like, no. I got 3 lives left. Can I use a life to do this? Or wait, I'm not ready yet. Let me just get back into that situation for 10 more years and then I'll be ready. It doesn't happen like that. God waits for no one, no matter which God that is. An atheist, it doesn't matter. The universe, Mother Nature, whatever it is that you believe in, does not wait for nobody.
I know.
And you have to understand that. And the whole thing with that is cherishing the time that you have now and cherishing the memories that you made with that person. Mm-hmm. And then never getting over the situation, but learning how to cope with it and then live with it in your everyday life to move forward, to live out the rest of your time until your ticket's punched.
I think the coping part is what I'm dealing with right now. I'm way better this year than I was last year about it. And it's like you said, as time goes on, it gets better and easier.
You learn to live with it better. It doesn't get better. Nothing. I would never tell anybody that.
Well, what I'm saying is you get
used to living with it.
It's not so fresh and raw. Yeah.
Well, you know what? That's your problem with visiting the cemetery, which, you know how and what I do. I relive it all the time because I keep it in my face. That's how I know how real and final it is. And I'll be there. Now, as much as people say they're ready for it, I can handle it, nobody truly is. That's just what everybody says. And some people just believe it up front. And then maybe it's that little bit in the back of your head that maybe there's a chance to live immortal or be a vampire. Think about it, wish it, dream of it one time or another in your life. Nobody wants to go. Nobody's ever ready to go. But that's a reminder, time will come. Yep. And when people say, live every day like your last, they don't even believe it because tomorrow does not come. In the world, it will always come. But for you, it won't. So if you're not doing what you want to be doing right now, and I don't care what that is, good, bad, or the ugly, then you're wasting space on this earth that somebody else could be taking up. I don't care what it is. If it's sitting on a bench, if it's smoking a cigar, if it's cocktails before noon, whatever it is, just make sure you're doing what you want to do, not doing what somebody else wants you to do. Mm. And that is living every day. That's getting out and saying life is short. Let me do everything. Maybe I don't want to do what you want to do every day, but I'm doing what I want to do every day. And it might not be something you approve of or understand.
Not for me to say that's your biz.
No, not you. Forget about it. I wouldn't even pay attention. Meaning you in general. Meaning the other side of the
bench. Thank you. So nice.
Listen, pay attention to that. Your Southern sayings, like I pay attention to the news.
You know more about the news.
Shut up, put up, sit down, flood it. And that's all from reading. I don't watch a single. Well, I don't. I watch if I want to watch something, it's on the stick. I don't watch anything from regular TV.
I don't know what the stick is, but okay.
The Fire Stick, Amazon.
Oh, no, I don't do that. I do the old school DirecTV.
That's not old school. Old school is 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 11, and 13 on the weekends for PBS.
With the antennas.
That's old school. DirecTV. DirecTV is as new as it comes.
So, we've had, just different discussions about different things. And one of the beauties of that I'm going through right now is raising another teenager. And I told her, I said, I got to tell the story.
Getting ready to raise 2 more after that.
That is true too. So
I don't know how you're not going to want to break after 10 years.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that.
Well, it's snowing in New Jersey. Is that crazy? Snowing in New Jersey. It's probably snowing in New York and Connecticut as well.
Okay.
I can't believe it. I just looked out the window. It's snowing.
Okay, so
it's supposed to be 20 degrees in the tri-state area tomorrow. Okay, I'm listening. What other
this
drama
is literally
you got
how our conversations go, like legit. So, anyways, the other day I was standing in the kitchen, and anybody that has a teenager will understand this. So she looks over me and she goes, "Oh, you chew like an old woman." I was like, okay, it's okay. I'm not going to let that get to me. Not going to let that get to me.
I think you said you too. What'd you say?
You chew like an old woman.
Chew. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Your chews sound like a T.
Okay, well, it's a Southern drawl. Thank you for noticing. And
no, I don't think it was a Southern drawl. I think it was the way it came over.
So
you chew like an old woman. I didn't know. Is there a way to chew throughout your?
She was trying. I swear to you, she was trying to goat me. So then,
what would she be considered? Not a millennial, right? Was a Gen X? What are they considered?
I don't know.
Because maybe they're just evolving too much for me that now we're paying attention to how people chew.
Yeah. So this was all about 2 weeks ago. So I just went on about my business. And so the next morning we're getting ready. And I'm like, everybody, let's go. We get everybody in the car. I drive everybody to school, go to work. On the way, she goes, put your finger in her. She goes, ew, you breathe like an old woman.
Oh my God.
So I looked at her and I said, how about we just not talk this morning? Why don't we just ride in silence? So we're going down the road and she goes, ugh, I hate your country music. Just okay. It's okay. I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm not going to let this happen. So I'm stewing on it all day at work. I'm like, man, I'm going to get this. I'm going to teach this kid a lesson. So I had this bright idea. As I'm pulling up to the high school to pick her up, I've got the windows all down. My country music is blaring as loud as that little car can handle it. And she's walking down the stairs to the car, and I'm like, hey! And I'm hollering at her name. I'm like, get your mom! Come on! Hurry! Come on! You're taking too much time! And she comes to the edge of
I like the way that you had a reminder that you're her mother. Come on! It's your mom! It's like, yeah, I know who you are.
No, I know, but the other kids didn't know.
I know. But they'd be like, she really had to say that it's your mom? Like you didn't recognize her?
So everybody's like looking, and she's looking to the left and to the right, and like, I said, oh, she's going to pretend like she doesn't know who I am. So I started honking the horn. I said, come on, hurry, you're taking 10 minutes. Come on, honey. Come on, Buttercup. And so she gets in the car. And I'm really proud of myself because I can see the disgust on her face. And so.
Just by the way, so everybody knows, Belle laughs while she's telling the story. You don't know where the punchline's going to go yet, but only she knows. And then she laughs it out, even if you don't think it's funny. And at the end, she'll say, I thought it was funny. Because I was waiting to hear that part. Because you've been laughing the whole time before you even got to any punchline. And I'm like, I hope everybody knows this about her. She laughs the whole conversation out. And at the end, nobody laughs. She goes,
and then I get to the punchline, and you're still sitting there on the phone. And I'm like, well, I thought it was funny. And you were like,
I was waiting for something hilarious because you're laughing. And then you go, Buttercup. And then you get serious. And then you'll go, they'll hear it because you'll say you can't help yourself. I thought it was fun.
That's exactly how I do that.
She got in the car. I'm waiting to hit a punchline. So go ahead.
She gets in the car. And she's like, do you like humiliating yourself? I said, oh, tell you what. Public humiliation is like the best thing I could do. She's like, oh, you're so embarrassing. She puts her little earbuds in and totally ignores me in the rest of the car right now. And so I was laughing. I was telling her, I was like, I'm going to talk about that. That's funny. Any mom that's got a teenager gets it, understands it.
I love it. Moms understand. Moms and teenagers understand. Do you listen to your pattern? No, people in general can understand. It doesn't have to be moms. It doesn't have to be moms with teenagers. Listen, I heard somebody tell me the other day. I mean, it's been like a week of reality check about age, which I don't care. I look fabulous. But it's like I heard somebody at 21 years old say, yeah, they're old like my parents. They're in their 30s.
Well, your parents are not in your 30s. Probably.
It's a wise ass remark.
I know. All right.
That's
that new thing on TikTok they're doing.
To call you old. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, your parents are probably older than me, unless your mom was a.
Be nice. Be nice.
A pregnant teen.
Be nice.
A pregnant teen. Nice.
That's not true because.
Nice don't follow my vocabulary.
Because I'll be 42 this year and I'll have a 21-year-old. So
I think you were just a woman that's not a teen mom. So
but
it makes no sense. You just jumped in again.
You just said it was a 21-year-old.
I can't believe that. Right. But the whole point of the story was she was calling people in their 30s old. Parents were well older than me. You understand what I'm saying?
I got it.
That's the point of the kids today. And I can't believe I'm saying kids. They're grown up at 21. But of course, you'll fly over my head and under my feet. So that's you. You weren't a teen mom. The whole point was that unless they did have a child in it when they were a teen, and they still would be in their 40s. You know what I mean? So you weren't a teen mom. You were of age, and
you're married.
There you go. Plus, I won't go there. I'll leave it at that. We know how sensitive you get. We need you crying again.
Plus.
But they do know that you just admitted your age. I think you're the first woman after 35 that's actually admitted her age on YouTube, on social media.
I mean, it's not.
I didn't even know. How about I wasn't even fishing for? I guess I didn't know you were 42. I never added it up, but I'm 42.
Okay, first of all, I'm not 42.
I have a 21-year-old.
I will be 42 later this year.
That means that you're 21.
That whatever. I don't care. I mean, that's what it is.
You see, you turned that into something. I don't care. Nobody said you cared. Nobody said you bothered you. Just pointing it out.
Okay, well, I think, I don't know. This new generation coming up, they don't have a problem with quoting age, how blah, blah, blah. Our generation, I don't know why there was shame in it. But, you didn't want to, after you got past a certain age, you didn't want to own up to how old you were. Listen, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Hold on one second. I'm just on. So, I think that's good for this week. I got to run. My ride's here. It was fun again. Let's do this again.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let me close it out. All right. Please and thank yous are a must. Smile never hurt no one. Be cognizant of the things you say and how you say them, because kindness is priceless. All right. Bye-bye.
He's got all that. Stay up. Chin down.